Okay, so there is one guy in Poland, which is my country if you don't know, and he's gotten pretty much popular in the past couple of days because he invented this trend of gnomes basically. So he kind of like dresses up like a gnome. He has this paper hat and he just goes to like shopping centers and like goes and trolls people. That's basically it. You probably know him if you're online in any way. And I noticed this trend. I noticed this guy, and it got me thinking because I'm actually interested behind discovering the kind of, I don't know if you can call it that way, but like the science of why something becomes trendy and all of that stuff. I kind of like this, it's kind of tied to the marketing stuff, and like it will be just cool to be able to create trends yourself, just like this guy did. And so I was studying his profile when I noticed it, and like at first what made him popular was that he was just posting videos of him just dressing up as a gnome and just going to those shops and just trolling people, like going behind the counters and just making some people mad. Some people were actually laughing at him, with him, they found that funny. So it was a really simple thing, right? All you had to do was to dress up as a gnome and just go and scream at some people, like that's all. But then he started adding new things, like kind of lore, let's call it that way. Now I know that it sounds really stupid, but it will make sense once I get to my point. He started adding this lore. So for example, he probably asked his friend to just cover himself in some kind of like silver tape and act as the knight who wants to defeat the gnome, and like he started all the beef between gnomes and knights. Like it's really stupid, like especially when I'm talking about it on the channel about self-improvement, but like trust me, it will make sense. And so I was looking at the comments of this guy, of these videos, and everyone was laughing at those videos. Everyone found them funny at the beginning, but once he started to implementing more things, like adding more things, more lore about this thing, about this trend, they started hating him, like actually hating him. That that's not what we want only the gnome, and like stop doing the transition, stop inviting the knight to perform on those videos, stop doing everything, stop. They even went mad after he just changed music for like one video or two, and so get back to this old music, OG music and all of that stuff. And I found that really interesting because to me, jokes aside, it looked like really good idea to like start with something simple and then start adding other things to keep it interesting, because like those kind of trends, they really can get you a lot of followers, but they also just pass by really fast, like they just end really fast, and like they may, I don't know, last for 2 weeks at max. So I thought to myself, when I first saw those videos, before even seeing the comments, I thought to myself, well, this guy is actually smart, because he's trying to deepen the lore, however it would freaking sound, but and he tries to do something to keep things interesting, right? And so he's adding new things, he's coming up with new ideas. He's actually smart, because everyone else who ever started a trend, they didn't do that, and like the trend last only for 2 weeks. Now what happened? I noticed that people were mad, as I said, at those changes that he made, and he actually listened to those people and like started bringing back the OG kind of style of videos, or just the gnome without the knight, and like still going back behind the counters and just trolling people and screaming at them, and like doing all the funny stuff. And I thought to myself, well, okay, so it's again trivial example, simple example, a stupid example, because it's not like serious and all of that stuff, but I was like, damn, that's actually smart. I mean, this guy was actually trying to do more than it was required for him to do in order to like gain followers and like make people entertained, which is all of his goal. Because like for me, my goal is to kind of share my advice, share my experiences, and share the things that I see, just as I'm doing right now. And so it's kind of like educating people. My goal is educating people. But this guy's goal was just to entertain them, right? And so he did something that I would find like smart. He wanted to add more things to keep things interesting, and but it turns out that he overcomplicated it. He just did too much. Like his audience wasn't interested in deepening the lore. They weren't interested in some more action. They were absolutely satisfied with these basic videos what he started with. Okay, and I was like, damn, that is actually like worth noticing. That is actually smart. That may be actually a nice lesson for all of us. And I also started noticing, because I had this thought like that I'm talking to you right now. I noticed that like 3 days ago, something like this, and so I had some time to also check if this rule applies to like everyday life. And so, for example, what happened was I did an experiment where because usually I go outside at, I don't know, like maybe 1 p.m, 2 p.m, something like this, because I like to spend a lot of time outside basically. And I wanted to see if I will like sit at my home for additional, I don't know, 2 hours maybe, if I will be able to do more work. Because like spending more time on something, dedicating more things, trying harder on something, technically should give you better results, right? Well, it turned out that when I had those additional 2 hours, I would find myself often taking breaks more often than usual. I would find myself not really focusing, because I knew that I have additional time, so like easy, there's no rush because I have this additional time, so I will be able to easily do everything. Well, it turned out that even though I wanted to do more, it decreased the results that I got at the end of the day, because I did less than usual. So like that's a really simple and stupid example that sometimes we are just trying to do more than we actually should. I know that all of us want more results, more gains and all of that stuff, but sometimes staying those additional hours won't change anything. It may even decrease your results, make them worse. It's something to consider, because at the same time, like when he got back to getting back to that guy, when he got back to this old style of videos, the audience started like again writing nice comments and like appreciating him for coming back to and actually listening to them. And so that's really cool, because it applies to basically life in general. It's the same as if you were going to the gym. Like if you would go for even just 45 minutes of workout, but like do it the intense workout, really intense, like you would come out of the gym really sweat, all covered in sweat and all of that stuff. Well, it would be better than if you would spend like 2 hours in the gym and you would just overcomplicate it and like track your breaks to the exact second and just try to do everything perfectly. Even though you wanted to do more, you would get just less results, worse results. You know what I mean? That's really cool to notice those things. Let me know what you think about it. If you found any value in this video, subscribe to this channel, because we are getting close to 100 subscribers, which will be my first mark. And yeah, other than that, as always, keep pushing.